Joe! Joe の野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Boxing Sideshow, and today we have Ashita no Joe, episode 66. So, where things are, it's nothing good. Joe has decided to sign up with this traveling boxing club. We haven't gotten a look at it, but I suspect it's going to be, real shady stuff. Not too concerned with the rules, pretty violent, and it's a way for Joe to continue to box, but it's considered such low tier that Dangpei is trying to convince him not to do it, but he already signed a contract, so it's too late. Dangpei Boxing Club is shutting down. Nishi's going to work full-time at the grocery store. And yeah, Joe's just going to be gone for a while, like traveling around. I think it would be really great if we started this episode and there was a time skip, because I really don't want to watch Joe fight bums and, just random people off the street for money to, pay for food and rent. Like, this whole storyline where he's on the 3-fight losing streak is bad enough, but this is even lower than that. Like, it's just a way for Joe to latch on to boxing without doing it the right way. There's a good reason why clubs like these, outdoor fight clubs, essentially, is what this is, that they're looked down upon. People get hurt, people get killed, and yeah, a really big part of why boxing, I like it so much, is because it's rules-based, and, it's supposed to be evenly matched against evenly matched. It's not just, like the knockout game or something like that, just random street violence that doesn't have any real meaning to it. It has no personal appeal for me. I think it's gross. And yeah, seeing Joe gravitate towards one of these organizations, it's the lowest he's ever been in the show. He was higher in jail than he is right now, honestly. So this is a very depressing storyline, and I am trying to brute force my way through it so I can just get it done and over with. If this is what's left of Season 1, I get why people are telling me just go to Season 2, because this is depression on wheels, and it's really, really frustrating. But, I committed, gave a promise that I would finish out Season 1, so we're going to finish out Season 1. I would love a time skip that glosses over all of that potential, stuff I don't want to deal with, but I don't think we're going to be that lucky. So, yeah, let's just get right to it.
土佐にまで見落としてリングにしがみつくか。そんな大げさなことじゃねえ。ちょっと旅に出るだけ。
Setting out for tomorrow.
ジョーのやつ、寝てる間に黙って出かけたらしいんや。
だって出発は確か夕方だって。
Leaving without saying goodbye sounds like something Joe would do.
起きてんか。おっちゃん、おっちゃん。
ああ、うん。
あかん。酔いつぶれて何言うてもわからへん。乗り込ん。
Dangpei's drinking again. This is horrible.
ジョーはもう行っちまったよ。なんだって？西ものりこさんも今さっき駅に向かったところだ。
お兄ちゃんも電車が好きなの？
ああ、いいもんだな。
これから電車に乗るの？
ああ、そうだよ。
でもいいな、俺も行きたいな、電車に乗って。
なぜだ？
なぜって、ただ行きたいのさ、遠いところへ。
気ぃつけろ、ガキ。
そっちこそ気をつけろ、バカ野郎！
なんだと？おい！ああ、いいね。この野郎！よしなよ。サボや、食べに行こうぜ。待てよ。おい！やる気かい、バカぞ。お前らそんな格好して本気かい。本気ならどうするってんだい。よせ！いいなちゃん。よせよ。こんなところで。だけど兄貴、この野郎が。よせって言ってんだバカ野郎。へえ。悪かったな。勘弁してくれよ。へ。 いいんだよ。
いくら土佐回りでもボクサーはボクサーだ。喧嘩はいけねえや。
すまねえや。
あいつが誰だかわからなかったのかい。
誰って。
あいつが俺たちの仲間一打のスターだ。
Huh. Okay, we're already off to a bad start. Basically, an organization run by criminals.
なるほど。北海道は綺麗だな。
はるか彼方にゃオホーツク。
うんとお金貯めて必ず行くんだぞ、北海道へ。
行くとも。それじゃお兄ちゃんも元気でね。俺ね、お兄ちゃんみたいなタイプ大好きなんだ。さよなら。
That was nice. Journey to the ends of the earth.
やあ挨拶なんかいいよ。それにさっきこいつらと顔合わせたからな。
さっきはどうもすまなかった。あんたがあの有名な矢吹城だとは知らなかったんでね。
稲葉だ。よろしくな。
稲葉さんか。確かどっかで聞いたことがある名前だな。
よしな。俺たちには昔のことは関係ねえよ。
Former boxer. Spotted him right at the very end.
椅子あげとくからな。ゆっくり名乗りおいしいんでくれ。
なんで黙って出てくるんや。心配するやないか。少しはうちは乗り換えの気持ちを考えなあかんで。
いやお前な。いや別によ、一生の別れってわけじゃねえんだからな。
Shut up anyway.
バカバカひどいじゃないよ。あたいに黙って言っちゃうなんてバカバカ。
みんな余計なことしやがるぜ。矢吹、そろそろ出るぜ。ああ、さーてと、じゃあ行ってくら。
よ元気でな。体壊さんようにな。
ああ。あばよ。
Quick reminder to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also consider signing up for my Patreon. For $1 per month, you get access to all my exclusive reactions, also a guaranteed movie request. With that, let's get right back to the reaction. Oh yeah. Okay, I took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 66. Interesting one. Joe says his goodbyes, like in typical Joe fashion. He doesn't tell anybody he's leaving. He just, goes off on his own. Everybody's really upset. They want to say their goodbye, and Joe meets this kid who's like obsessed with trains, and Joe's on his way to a train station, so he sort of befriends this kid. And this kid has an interesting dream. He wants to save up enough money so he can finally, go on a trip far, far away. And the place he wants to go to is Hokkaido. And the reason he wants to go to that place specifically is because at the train station they put up these pictures and they change them all the time. And Hokkaido just looks so interesting and, unique and beautiful. And so he's kind of fixated on it. It's his dream. And that's pretty interesting because, Joe's dream was always to be a successful boxer. And while things haven't worked out the way he's wanted thus far, at the same time, he's going on this trip far, far away so that he can continue to hold on to that dream, even though, the likelihood of Joe bouncing back from, being essentially a circus performer to like a professional boxer that's actually accomplished is like this does not happen in real life. This is like borderline impossible. I know people have this idea of what boxing is, like they watch like the Rocky movies or something, and it just isn't that. These underdog stories are incredibly unrealistic for the most part. Like people that take their shot and then fail and then refuse to quit and then relegate themselves to these underground organizations, they do not come back, fight, and win world titles. It just doesn't happen. But the show, despite the fact that it's another pretty depressing episode overall, everybody's crying, saying their farewells to Joe. Dangpei is back drinking. There's a lot of stuff in this episode to be depressed about. The episode is trying to strike this more optimistic tone, like this is a good thing, like this is Joe refusing to give up on his dream and all this stuff. And I'm just not feeling it. Like, there were some great moments in this episode, specifically when everyone was saying their goodbyes, but at the same time, it's just been, nonstop depression. And, I don't see Joe taking this route with it and then coming back to boxing professionally. It just doesn't seem likely. I mean, even in this episode, there were warning signs about this, underground boxing club. Some of those guys associated with it tried to, beat up the kid. Joe almost got into a fist fight with the two of them. This other guy intervened. Seems like he's much more capable than the others, and, he was a lot more cool and level-headed, but I'm guessing he's an ex-boxer, similar situation to Joe. And he essentially said, don't even worry about my past, it doesn't matter anymore, we're doing this now. So, like, even he is very realistic about it, and Joe trying to hold on to, his dream, doing this out of desperation, and it doesn't feel good. Like, none of it does. Still love the show and all, it's just this storyline is just very, very sad. And yeah, it doesn't give me a lot to talk about, and I just honestly want to get right to the next one and just keep chugging along until we finally get to something that isn't this, because, this is the worst part of the show thus far. And I don't mean that in terms of quality, I mean in terms of, like, how it's making me feel. And yeah, I just want to keep plugging along until we finally either get done season 1, something good happens, or, we're in season 2, when everyone has been hyping that up in the comments over and over again. Season 2 is so much better. And I think part of the reason why they think season 2 is better is because of, this ending storyline. It's very depressing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.